Hi there. Today I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that I use when I'm playing the card game Euchre. Now there's many different versions of Euchre, but the common one, which is the one that I play, is played using six cards from each suit, ace through to 9, and that gives you a total of 24 cards. Okay, so with this version of Euchre, then there is 5 cards are dealt to each of the 4 players, and there's also 4 cards dealt into the kitty in the middle, and 3 cards are always face down, and 1 card is turned up. And with this version of Euchre, you've got 2 teams, and each team the players in each team sit opposite each other, so that's team 1 and that's team 2, and then each team plays against the other team to try and win tricks and win the round of Euchre. And this sort of leads into the next tip then, is because there's always 3 cards then that face down that are definitely out of play for each round, then you could be waiting for one of those cards to be played, watching and waiting for it to be played during that current round of Euchre, but it'll be out of play. So for instance, if hearts were trumps, then you might be wondering when the 9 of hearts is going to be played, and the jack of hearts, which is your top card, when that's going to be played. But because that's out of play for that round of Euchre, for this round of Euchre, the current round of Euchre, then that card won't be played. So it's something always to remember, that not every card is being dealt for the round, and so some of the really good cards may not be in one of the 4 hands in the current round of Euchre. Okay, so for each round of Euchre, then one of the 4 suits, either hearts, diamonds, clubs or spades, must be trumps. So if spades become trumps, then that automatically elevates the jack of spades to be the highest card, and then the jack of clubs suddenly becomes a spade, and that becomes the second highest card. And you can see there now that you've got 7 spades, but you've only got 5 clubs, but you've still got 6 diamonds and 6 hearts. And obviously all those cards, except for the 3 or 4 that are in the kitty, are going to be randomly dealt to the other players and in their hand. So if you're considering playing, perhaps either a ace of hearts or ace of diamonds, or versus a ace of clubs, then you're probably more likely, or probably better off, to play a heart or a diamond, because then it's more likely that the other players in their hand will have either a diamond or a heart, and they'll have to play that card to follow suit. But if you play a club, then there's only 5, so slightly less cards spread out between those players, and you're more likely to be more likely to be trumped with a spade if you play a club than if you play a diamond or a heart. And that also works in reverse then, is that, say one of your red cards is trumps, say it's the hearts of trumps, then you're better off to play an ace of spades or an ace of clubs, one of the black cards, rather than the ace of diamonds, because obviously now there's only 5 diamonds, but you've still got 6 clubs and 6 spades. Okay, so the next thing to consider when you're playing Euchre, the next tip, is the scoring, and it's really important to really understand how the scoring works. And in the version of Euchre that I play, it's the first 10 points, and obviously it's your team against the other team. And then I'll just hide that other table for the second, and we'll consider this table. So this is where your team calls, and obviously if you call trumps, which is either diamonds, clubs, spades or hearts, then you've got to be confident that you're going to win at least 3 tricks, which is 3 out of the 5. And if you don't win there, then you automatically give you the opposite team 2 points, and that's that's 20%, I guess, of the way to getting their 10 points. So you've got to be really confident that between yourself and your partner that you will get at least 3 tricks and get the point. And if you're really lucky, you'll get all 5 tricks and you'll get 2 points. And sort of the other side of it is, when you're playing the other team, then obviously if they get all 5 tricks, then they will automatically get 2 points. So what you've got to really aim for is to at least win one trick, and that limits them to either 3 or 4 tricks that they win out of the 5, and that limits them to 1 point. And if you're really lucky, then you can get, if you could limit them to only winning 2, 1, or even 0 tricks, then that's Euchre, and then you automatically get 2 points. And the other side of the scoring is that you're actually allowed to play alone, which is where you play, your partner sits to one side and doesn't participate, but you play against the other team, the other 2 players in the team. And if you do call and you play alone and you're able to get all 5 tricks, then you get 4 points, and that's if you can get 4 points, then you significantly on your way to getting the 10 points and winning that current sort of round of Euchre. And obviously, if the other team decides to play alone, then obviously you want to limit them to either getting, definitely not getting the whole 5 tricks. You want to try and win one of the tricks along the way, and that suddenly, if they don't win all 5 tricks, then rather than getting 4 points, they just get 1 point. And then obviously, if you can win at least 3 tricks and limit them to 1 or 2 or no tricks, then you get, and that's also Euchre, and then you get 2 points. So there we go. Yeah, so it's important to understand the scoring. And the real aim then is, obviously when you call, is to get at least 3 tricks and get a point, and not to hand 2 points to your opponent by getting euchred. And also if the other team calls, then try and at least win one trick, and so rather than getting either 2 points or 4 points, then they're limited to just 1 point. So the next thing to consider is when to call, and when to call is just when you're going to make the trumps for the current round of Euchre. So in this scenario, everybody's just been dealt their 5 cards. You've got 3 cards down, and then you've got that 1 card turn up in the middle. And in this case, I'm the dealer. I've got the little dealer plug in front of me, so I've dealt out the cards. So, and then I pick up and have a look at that, and spades is there, and I've actually got the top 2 spade cards. That's I should be pretty excited about that. So then what happens then is that it goes around in clockwise, and all these players get a chance to order that spade up in my hand, and if they all 3 pass, then what I do is I definitely take up that spade, because then I've got 2 guaranteed wins with a jack of top 2 cards, jack of spades, jack of clubs, and then I'll potentially get a third trick then with that 9 of spades, just depending what else is in other people's hands. And then I've got discard 1 card, yes. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of the diamond, and just leave hearts in my hand, and that's the lowest card there. So I get rid of that diamond, and that just leaves me with hearts and spades. So if anybody plays a diamond or plays a club, then I've got a good chance of trumping those with my 9 of spades, because I don't have those cards in my hand, so I don't have to follow suit. I can trump it with the 9 of spades. Okay, so I'll take that back then and show you another scenario then. So say for instance, then that player from the other team is as the dealer, then it would go around, to my partner, to the opposition player, and then to me, and if they both passed, then it'd be a chance for me to order up that, and so it's putting the 9 of spades in that opponent's hand, and still making spades then as trumps. So yeah, it's always a bit iffy when you order up, but I'd say, so I've got 2 guaranteed wins, that'd be worthwhile in this scenario, ordering that up, and they'll throw out one of their rubbish cards, and then it becomes spades, becomes trumps. So with that scenario, and then I guess the next scenario is is that my partner was dealer, a tick, and then then we got the 9 of spades as the middle card. Then if this opponent here passed, then it'd be my turn. Then I definitely, have 2 guaranteed wins, definitely order that up and put that into my partner's hand, and he'd throw out one of his rubbish cards, and then it's pretty well guaranteed that I'd get at least the 3 tricks with two guaranteed in my hand, and then hopefully my partner gets at least one trick, and we'll get the 3 there. So that's sort of the first go around with with ordering it up. Okay, so this is another scenario to consider then. I was the dealer of this hand. It's been round, pass, and I've passed again. And so what happens then is that once the all 4 have passed, then it can't. It's never allowed to be made clubs. You've either got to choose from the other three suits if you turn down the clubs, and then you go around again, for instance, and then pass, and then it's left up to me to make it on the last one. And look at that hand there. It's not, you got 3 good diamonds, but you haven't got the Jack of Diamonds or the Jack of Hearts. But I've got 3 diamonds, so I probably would make it diamonds in this case, and hopefully my partner could get 1 or 2 tricks. He might have one of the good other diamonds there, the Jack of Diamonds or the Jack of Hearts. So yeah, I'd make it diamonds in that situation. Okay, so this is another, it's a really great hand, actually a really great heart hand, and this is a good example of a played alone, going alone hand, because you've got 4 really good hearts, and then you've also got a high offsuit there in the King of Diamonds. So you've got a pretty good chance then of winning the whole 5 tricks and getting the 4 points with a really good hand like that. Okay, so the next thing to consider then is when to play different cards. So obviously, if somebody else has led, then you've got to pretty well sort of follow suit if you've got it. But probably for the first couple of hands, I wouldn't be playing these two big cards, because I'll probably play them towards the end, I'd say, just in case. Hopefully my partner could pick up a win with either you might have another trump card there, or might have a high ace of clubs or hearts or diamonds, something like that, to pick up a win. And so if I did get the chance to lead here, then I probably wouldn't play those cards early. I'd probably play the king there, perhaps King of Hearts, reasonably good card, and hopefully it doesn't get trumped by one of the opponents, and hopefully either I win or my partner wins on that play. So then the other scenario was where I had that 9 of spades in my hand, was the other one from a few minutes ago, and in that case I'd probably obviously if something, maybe a diamond got led around here somewhere, then that would be my chance to trump it, hopefully with the 9 of spades, and hopefully nobody over trumps me with a higher trump, and then to pick up the win there. And once, I guess, going along here, once we've won 1 or 2 tricks, then that's maybe a chance to bring out the big guns and win a couple of easy tricks with the Jack of Spades and the Jack of Clubs. Okay, so the next scenario I looked at was having 3 diamonds there. Obviously didn't have the Jack of Diamonds or the Jack of Hearts. So in this case, so if somebody else led, then I'd be trying to trump it with one of those diamonds. Hopefully my partner might pick up a trick there, but if I got the lead, then I probably wouldn't be playing one of my diamonds, because somebody else might have the Jack of Diamonds or the Jack of Hearts, and then they'd win that trick from me. So I'd probably perhaps playing the King of Hearts and hopefully win with that, or my partner would win, or perhaps the Queen of Spades might be another one that I'd play in that situation. Okay, so this was the third scenario I showed you. It's a really great heart hand, and if somebody led a club or a spade, for instance, then you'd come along and trump them with your Queen of Hearts, and then you'd take the lead, and then you just play the Jack of Hearts first, and then next you play the Jack of Diamonds, and then the Ace of Hearts, and there you've got guaranteed 4 wins, and then your last card you play would be the King of Diamonds, and hopefully they don't have, either one of your opponents don't have the Ace of Diamonds left, and then you'd win with the King of Diamonds and win all 5 tricks. Okay, so there we go. I've showed you a few tips and tricks to help you with Euchre. Yeah, so Euchre's a great game that I've played for many years now. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.